We hot. Rev it up with this 9.
Oh! It's Bedlam here in Cleveland. Curry with the layup. No! Blocked by James! Yeah. You are tuned in to the Starter 5 podcast. I'm your man, E-Trill here. Of course, you call me Trill for short. You can always follow me on Instagram and X at _trillionaire. You can also find the Starter 5 podcast wherever you get your podcast. Apple, Spotify. Did I say Apple and Spotify? And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe on the YouTube channel. You can hit the share button. You can hit the thumb up, hit the thumb down. You can hit a comment. It's your choice. Just do something. Don't just sit there and be lazy. Just a quick, I'm gonna call this a memorandum. The Boston Celtics are still frauds. I'm gonna kick it to my left. I'm a hater. I guess I'm just a hater.
Get into it. Hey, it's nothing wrong with hating Boston when you nothing wrong with that. We live, man. Welcome back to the Starter 5. J Supreme here. Hive03 on IG. Y'all ain't paying that cash up, but it's cool. You know, we gonna get there. You know what I mean? It's cool. Season 4, yeah, you just gotta be consistent. That's all. Season 4, episode 9, man. We back locked in. You know, basketball season is officially over. Football season, man. Come on, kick in, man. Oh, and shout out to the Guardians, man. Shout out to the Guardians. We ain't gonna skip past baseball season, man. They doing their thing. I'm sorry, Dom. We ain't gonna skip past it. I'm gonna pass it to
Wait, don't be happy in October.
It's rude.
Yeah, I don't want to see you with no blue and red on. I'm gonna pass it to my left.
It's gonna be football season. Y'all ain't gotta worry about it.
World Series.
That's true.
Justo back again. Justo Star 5 on IG and X, man. And I'm gonna run it back with the Father's Day. Happy Father's Day again. If you missed the last one, we'll give it to you on this one. And yeah, I'm gonna kick it to my left.
You already know what it is, man. Jonathan Seagull Hardy on the book. At Super John on X and Instagram. You already know what to do, man. Leave your likes, your dislikes, your questions, your suggestions. And keep giving us that feedback, because I got time for y'all niggas, man.
That's new. That's a new one.
No, I got time for y'all niggas now, man. I want to shout out to my baby girl, my wife. I just had my baby girl Monday, June 17th. Welcome to the world, Genesis. And again, your dad got time, because I'm ready for you niggas. I'm going to go ahead and swing it to my right, because I'm ready to go.
Hey, hold on. And she got the same birthday as Kendrick. That's interesting.
Oh, okay.
That's interesting. Y'all in trouble.
What up?
Y'all in trouble.
Catch me at X. Last Summer Down Breed X. I don't know if you doing it on YouTube.
I like that.
Catch me on Facebook at Dom Daniel. And you already know we come with fire content only, baby. And shout out to my man Jalen Brown. When I see you, my boy, hold it down, man. I see you, man. Kick it to my left.
We have to talk about that. No, so but outside,
he got that Jersey auto shit.
We'll get to the finals momentarily and all the misery that it was. So the Detroit Pistons made a blunder, I think, today.
Yet again.
They fired Monty Williams.
Oh wow!
But 1 year into a 6-year contract deal, and so they still owe him $65 million. Yep. And oh, by the way, they still owe Dwayne Casey money too. They pulling the Dan Gilbert's what they pulling. Let's pay coaches for 10 years while we still floundering in the standings. So immediately, I got excited when I heard the news. I'm like, oh damn, the Cavs ain't hired a coach yet. But that's neither here nor there. But the Pistons firing Monty Williams, what does that say about this franchise and its direction? You got a lot of parts and pieces that may not fit. You got a player in Cade if you play, right? What's the fast man name? Jaden Ward? No.
Jaden Ivey.
Jaden Ivey.
Oh, Ivy, yeah, I like Ivy.
I like him, but do they fit in the backcourt?
I like they big, too.
And then Jaden Ward is the big, if I'm not mistaken? Duren, yeah. So they got good pieces, which means they might be a good seller for trade time. Good defender. So they got pieces. And I thought Coach Williams was a good fit, but they ass.
I mean, but see what he did for Phoenix. He turned them into a perennial powerhouse.
After they were
ass.
They ain't even getting no chance.
Y'all didn't even let his fucking. Y'all didn't even let the program settle in yet.
I thought the firing in Phoenix was unwarranted as well.
Definitely was.
You know what I mean?
Definitely was.
And so
This one worked. Like, you ain't even let the ink dry on the contract yet. You already letting another
the
black coach go.
the saturation of coaches in the league. I know it's always this next guy up and coming.
Yeah.
Right. Y'all not making more teams. Allegedly, you got Vegas and Seattle on the table. Who knows when that's going to happen, right? So there's nobody sexy.
Y'all coming to the east.
Right? Okay, let me know.
Of course, you'd be moving.
Oh, because the realignment, yeah. But so there's no sexy coaching candidates in this year's coaching pool. Bud already got hired by the Suns. They jump on that as quick as they can. So Lakers, Cavs, and now the Pistons are without a coach, and really he's the most qualified guy for the job. So
where fired him?
Then he fired him. So where does he not? So we know he's not going back to Detroit. But where is he going? Is the Cavs going to get in here?
With the knowledge that we have now, I would love for Monty to come on up here.
He go right to the top of my list. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Because when we talked about this earlier, he wasn't available.
Right.
I think you brought his name up too, right?
You did.
Yeah, you did.
See if we could cut. You did. You said if I don't want to quote you, misquote you. Excuse me. But you said something on the lines of we could see if we could pay Monty to leave Detroit.
I did say that.
Oh, now you don't got to pay him.
Well, now we don't have to.
They gotta pay him.
They gotta pay him.
And there's some context that's kind of messed up. Like, he was supposed to take the year off after his wife passed.
Yeah, I remember.
But he didn't and accepted that job just for in that year to not be able to finish out his contract is messed up. But on the other hand, they got a new management group. That's not their guy.
Spearheaded by Trajan Langdon.
This could be a blessing in disguise for Monty though.
And if you a Cleveland Cavs fan from way back when, you know who the fuck that is.
Brick City.
This could be a blessing in disguise for Monty. Like shit, he ain't got to deal with that no more. That dysfunctional place over there no more. He can take the year off and he's still getting paid. And after that, when he decided to come back, it could be a whole nother team that's trying to go in the winning direction. That could be trying to hire him. So it could be a blessing in disguise for him.
The Laker job held to the no. Just off the strength of who knows what the fuck Jenny Buss and
Kurt Rambis
and his wife and Rob Lowe are doing. I mean, Rob Pelinka are doing. Right? This job is very attractive in Cleveland.
No, for sure.
All points are signing yes to Donovan signing a 4-year extension. Kobe Altman is, on the fence about trading one of the core four. Somebody got to go. I don't know who. Somebody got to go. No names, please.
I ain't heard that one in that line.
But somebody leaving, right? You got to figure out what you're going to do with this bench. So I think this job is the most lucrative, just in terms of what Dan Gilbert going to pay, and he got the pedigree, man. And I think, and Phoenix didn't have any problems scoring points when he was coaching, did they?
No.
So the offense that we lack, development that we don't see allegedly in Mobley, this is the guy for the job. I like Borrego. He's just an unknown to me. I know Monty Williams can get you to the NBA Finals. Now, can he win it? That's going to be on the players.
Point to be proven.
They couldn't do nothing with the Greek Freak. I mean, DeAndre Ayton is a dud so far.
I mean, man.
You
You gotta hold that to Monty too, because after they tied it up 2-2, it's kind of like, all right, fam, he can't do it by himself.
Yeah, that game 5 was close though. That was anybody's game that night, and that's what took it away. So,
Let me see what Drew
Drew
out here doing.
The oop to finish it was
Crazy. That's legendary right there.
with the bow on that bitch. I seen that. I said, yeah.
I like that. No, I'm a big
Phoenix
Monty
stuff.
guy. Chris Paul is my favorite player. Monty and Chris Paul got plenty of ties, so I'm a big fan.
is this a real Bulls ball? This is from a day ago though.
Definitely gotta bring him in for an interview, man.
No, I mean I'm definitely gonna talk to him. I know
Sure.
I know
See where
that.
they're at.
And the report is that, according to Adrian Warren Janowski of ESPN, that Trajan Langdon, James Borrego is an associate head coach down in New Orleans, and of course that's where Trajan Langdon came from. So I know he's on the phone real fast. But I mean, that's not that. That don't look like a good job to me.
Hasn't been for a while.
I mean, and
I think this makes it look worse.
totally.
I think this is kind of similar to how I feel about taking the Lakers job. It's like, so I get a year or two, I can win a championship. I get a year after that to figure something out,
Maybe.
and have no control over the roster. Like that's.
But this goes around the whole league, though. Just though, like these coaches get 3 to 4 years, and they out. They're on to the next guy.
I think it's sports.
And then now, and so now my assistant is supposed to be the next. I don't get it.
It's nasty work on all aspects of sports. Period. Because you just look around the landscape of all sports. like Justo just said, if you don't get it done, I'm a bad coach now. Like it's one champ every year, bro.
Oh, for sure.
So all 29 other coaches should get fired because Boston just won the championship? Like, that don't make no fucking sense.
Nah, whatsoever.
Guys don't hit their prime till they're 25, 26, 27, but if you don't start winning when they're 22, then you're out.
Like, I got a team full of motherfucking college seniors and juniors. Like, what you want me to do?
That stay up all night playing video games and eating McDonald's.
Facts.
And
stay out a little late at the jacuzzi at the hotel. You know what I'm saying?
The team that won the finals this year, it took them 5 years to get to this point.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the difference with Boston is they took. I mean, Brad Stevens is still there. They gave him promotion.
Yeah.
So it's like
that's a good point.
They're working shit. They let shit marinate. They're putting pieces together. They're trying different things.
That's what the good organizations do.
And
because what Brad Stevens came there, what?
2017. Was it 16?
Before Jalen got there, so yeah. So
16.
15, 16, yeah.
But he came from Butler, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he came from college.
Y'all let him. He became an executive what? 2 years ago.
The first year they went to the finals.
Yep, 2 years
When
ago.
they hired Ime Udoka as coach,
Yep.
who was damn good.
So that's 6
he had
years. Y'all
scandals.
6 years of him
Yeah.
being a coach. Y'all let him, and then y'all move him up, and then it's just a model of consistency there. But other places, i.e., your biggest competitor across the across the U.S., y'all firing the coach every year and a half.
So I understand when you
and flipping the roster every year.
you talking about
Yeah.
the Raptors. So I understand like and Nick Nurse is the coach. They're stupid for that.
No, I'm talking about Purple.
Oh, then they had 10 coaches in the last 15 years?
Yeah.
We can't even name them all.
I could, but we not here for that.
Okay.
You definitely could too.
Like when you look at the situation like this, which is what happened with the Cavaliers, for example, right? J.B. Beckerstaff was here, I think, 4.5 years. He took over the Beeline mid-season, approximately, and then
Oh, and Tibbet, I looked up when we fired Paul Silas for you. He was 34 and 30 at the time we fired him. And then I think the rest of the year we were under 500. But go ahead.
You just fucked up.
Alright, so
R.I.P. Paul Silas, man.
I told you I'm on trash today. I've been quiet all week. I've been quiet all week. I wore garbage.
after 64 games, you just won 17 and 67, or 66, whatever the hell that is.
No,
right?
he finished the first year. When we still on.
My point is, you came from winning 17 games.
Right. He wasn't a coach.
He wasn't a coach. You hired him as a coach.
We
You draft the L train. He wasn't the L train yet, but he was LeBron James.
right. I think we were 9 that year. We just missed the playoffs.
Just missed the playoffs.
Then the next year, he goes 34 and 30.
So he did finish the first year, right?
Yeah, he finished the first year. He didn't finish the second year.
Because Dan Gilbert took over ownership and didn't see the writing was really clearly what it was.
And we were 34 and 30.
All right, so back to my previous point. I don't know what the fuck it was now.
We're talking about giving coaches longer leashes. And
So J.B. Bickerstaff was here approximately 4.5 years, right? But you saw stagnation because actually you won 51 games last year, and you got kicked out in the first round. The next year you won 48 games, which means you went back 3 games. And I know injury plays a lot of that. So I get that firing. You gave him 4 years.
No, but go ahead.
So, well, only because, and now when I look back on it, I say really, and I know I've probably been saying this all season long, but really did Evan Mobley develop, right? We don't really have a big, where's Patrick Ewing as the assistant coach for the big man? We're you know what I'm saying? Like, it needs to be more of that. Where's these former players? Where's the Charles Oakley at? Where's man? Stop. Where is Otis Thorpe? Why nobody hire Otis Thorpe as an assistant coach? Like, do he want to be? I don't know. Old time legend. But do they? 4 years for JB. You don't want to run it back one more year. But we know as reports have come out that Donovan wasn't happy. It was they want to see an eye to eye. Clearly, right? So the Cavs had to turn the page.
But to throw JB some bail, that was only his second year with Donnie. After your first 2 years, you have a young core you're trying to build and develop them. And then after that, next you know, we get a big fish in the pond, we get Donnie. Now after 2 years of that, we actually make a step in the right direction. Even though we got injured this past postseason, we made it to the second round. So we actually made a nice little step. So it's like they could have ran it back one more year to try to see, okay, can we get over this hump?
Yeah,
That's all. If he don't get it done after this year, I am with cutting the head off. But
the risk, so right now reports say, oh yeah, we getting an extension. Are we getting these same reports if JB is back?
I think there's a pattern.
I don't know how true that is.
There was a rift.
If that's the case, then I get it.
I'm gonna give you the reason right here. I believe he wanted to play fast. Coach wanted to play slow. Because when Suckers was out and they sped the pace up, the results was winning. When the Suckers came back, walking the ball up the court again, the results went back in the tank. So if the star player like, yo, let's speed this up. We ain't got to score 120 a night. I mean, hell, they jacking up threes with the best of them this year. They have 3-point shooting. Play fast, coach. What you scared of? So
DG turning that bitch over.
yes. So if playing fast versus playing slow will be the determination of me keeping my job or not, I'm gonna go ahead and just play fast. And I'm gonna study extra and get some philosophies in here that will help flourish the team.
It's not an egregious firing.
No.
It's just
I just
maybe a
feel
little
like
bit premature.
I piggyback off what Dom said. The 4 years you were here, we did nothing but improve.
Exactly.
Nothing. But the first year, made steps. Second year, we were fucking 2-3 until Jared Allen and them get hurt. And then we still end up in the play-in. You know, KD and them did their motherfucking thing, and then we lose the fucking ice tray. And we get put out. But the next year, we win 51 games, get into the playoffs. And then this year, we... Again, fighting for a fucking top seed in the fucking conference, regardless of what the rift was between them. We still fighting for a top seed with everyone healthy. And like I said, we didn't get 20, 25 games out of the 4 of them together.
I don't think we got that many. It was.
And we still fighting for a 2 seed. So that's why I said I would love to see him with all 4 of them, all 4 of his guns, and let's go see what happens.
Well,
now, if it don't work out, I throw my hands up, big dog.
And my thing too, I said this before they fired him. I'm like, if there's like a top candidate that blows you away that's out there, okay, I get getting rid of JB, but that guy didn't exist when y'all fired him. He still don't exist.
He exists
to
now.
me. Well, Monty, but I like.
Money.
But before I do too. But I'm just saying, like, it wasn't like it was somebody before Monty got fired that was out there that just like blew you away. Like, I think it was worth bringing him back for another season.
I mean, did they talk to Jeff Van Gundy? Jeff Van Gundy, he about to be an associate head coach with Ty Lue out in LA. Did they call? They ring Jeff
They got
on?
problems too.
Why?
LA
the
just got
Clippers?
problems.
Yeah, LA all over the board got problems. Why ain't reach out to Jeff?
They didn't have that contact.
I'm cool on Jeff.
Jeff Van?
I'm cool on Jeff.
What about
Stan Van, no.
What about Stan?
Jeff Van,
I'm
yes.
cool on both them Van Gundy.
That's that Riley pedigree though. Don't you want that?
I understand that.
You want no Cavs culture?
Their time came and passed.
Yes,
Their time came and passed. I'd rather.
We all in, man.
You know Cavs culture?
I think there's a lot.
You ain't known dusting off a legend, a legendary coach.
There's a lot to be said about the star player having a lot of control in that too, though. I mean, if you look around, guys who make those big trades, those big time trades, the signings, they get those short leashes because you're supposed to figure it out in the first year, second year because they're so talented. That's what happens.
And to Don's point about the legendary coaches, you know, just in my mental Rolodex going back in history, when does that ever work? And don't say Phil Jackson because that was a year between him having arguably the best team assembled in Chicago going to young Shaq and Kobe. So other than Phil Jackson, and I still don't count that because it was damn near simultaneously. He wasn't out for a minute and then came back to LA. When does that ever work?
It didn't work for the Clippers when they got Doc.
Didn't work with John Gruden.
It's not a legendary coach. Not even close.
Kevin! Kevin!
Damn, he was so serious about
Not
that.
legendary?
No.
Alright, well, we'll leave that right
Miss
there.
KG?
Jeff Van Gundy went to Houston.
Did he? Oh, he did.
Yeah.
See, look.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't even remember.
Forgettable. I remember that.
Pat went to New York and Miami. No rings. Well, he got Shaq.
On the bench.
He did get Shaq. I mean, listen, if John Starks didn't exist, the Knicks probably would have won that ring. Not exist in terms of life, just how he played that day.
If was a fit.
You feel me?
If was
Because they
a
went
fit.
down there and won game 6, and
It happens, man.
John just he never met a side he didn't like.
It happens.
But
man.
as you being who you are, Pat Riley, legendary coach,
Get him out the game.
What you gonna do? Put in Hubert Davis?
Shit.
something got to change, bro. You 1 for 17. You playing for them now? It's 6-4, fam.
Yeah. But then you could argue
Go box out.
you could argue at that point in time that Jordan was in the way. Could argue that.
But
Like when you
as a competitor, I hate when people say that because you had to deal with the 80s when you had Bird, Isaiah,
But that's what I'm saying. But who?
and Olajuwon and fucking Ralph down there.
But he had Magic. He had, you know what I'm saying?
But you had guys. You had guys in New York.
No, he did. No question.
You took Jordan and them to the brink every fucking year y'all played them. So as a competitor, I hate when niggas say he was standing in the way.
And they should have beat him when Jordan was gone. They didn't.
And my thing, the shit that makes you legendary is getting over that, getting past that. If you don't get past that, then you was just good. You wasn't legendary.
Wait, so Pat Riley just good?
As far as
I can't
the coach,
say he
yes.
just good. I can't say that.
Just checking.
I can't
I
say
was
that.
checking.
I mean,
He
when
just
you-
overcame
when you
those
look at-
guys,
When
so
you
yeah,
look-
he does
when
have
you
a-
look at his whole scope of career, yes, he's a legend. But if we talk about that specific aspect,
That his 90s run wasn't.
No. And to put a wrinkle on this, you know, he was a top assistant too. So, and then he got elevated. So I guess this is how the game goes.
yeah.
But money, get your money, boy. Get paid. Either way, you're gonna get paid. And so salute you. So this is by the way, this is the fast break segment. We start each and every show like this, news and notes around the sports landscape. So reports are saying that Pascal Siakam is getting ready to sign a $189 million deal with the Pacers. So we talk about running them back, right? Obviously, the Pacers didn't have Mathurin, throughout the playoffs. Halliburton got an untimely injury.
I think he was it just went again. I don't think he was healthy the whole second
Now,
half of the year.
help me. Who did they trade to get Siakam?
But he healed, basically.
Okay. Do you bring him back for that number?
I think so. I don't think you trade for him if you're not willing to give him that.
Yeah,
Like, do you really
that
think?
trade
rental
for
was
the rental,
crazy.
yeah.
But I mean, is he the guy's gonna get you over the proverbial hump?
They don't know. They lost their guy.
He helped.
They went to the conference finals and they lost. They gave Celtics hell, even though it was a sweep, and they didn't have their guy. So.
And my thing is, if he's not the piece to get you over the, if he's not the guy to get you over the hump, he's definitely a significant piece, along with whoever that guy may be. I feel like you bring him back, and they had success. Why not bring him back?
12 more years, huh?
Everybody getting paid.
Yeah. So
Everybody getting paid in the leagues.
I know everybody's getting paid, but you know, I'm just
Somebody gotta get paid.
somebody gonna get paid. So he averaged 21, 7, 3 assists per game, 54% shooting and 38% from three. So he's not a slouch by any means.
And it was a trade deadline move, right?
It was a trade deadline move.
For Indiana, I feel like that's good for Indiana. Keep a nice little core for him to try to move forward in the future. I feel like if they don't get him, what they gonna do?
I don't know.
Everybody talking about Paul George going back.
Right, like
Indiana.
that's a pipe dream. You can't count on that. You might as well just sign him while you got him instead of hoping Paul George can come to you. Like, nah, I'd rather just sign that.
Yeah, sign that, because if you try to let him go and then he gonna come back asking for something.
Well, they had already had been talking to Paul before they even, you know what I'm saying, so they can know something.
And how much better is Paul George than he is?
I mean,
I think the biggest thing about that is Pascal Siakam's 30 and Paul George is 34. So
Young guy, yeah.
And less injury prone.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he's a champion. Whether it was his fault or not.
He helped. I hate people try to discount Pascal. Definitely helped.
No,
he knows what it looks like. He knows what it looks. He's been there.
And look, my thing. Look, and my thing is like nothing against PG. I know he y'all go, but bringing him back to Indiana, that's not like LeBron James. Let's go on a finals run. Like that's just a good story. That's not like, oh, I'm scared of the Pacers now. Like that's not that situation.
I wouldn't be
To
any
me.
more scared
Yeah, like
of the Pacers with Paul George rather than Pascal Siakam. So yeah, I get that.
my point exactly.
It looks the same.
So I know y'all. That's y'all go.
I get that.
No, yeah, I think Pascal would be a better fit.
I think you have to. You don't make that trade without already like, because they said that. They said they were hoping that he was going to re-sign back with them. So they made that trade with just the scout's honor that he was going to re-sign. So they already had this in their mind. They were going to make this move no matter what. So
He ain't Carlos Boozer.
And John, based off the eye test, off the eye test, it was a good fit in Indiana. You know what I mean? It was.
It worked out for him. I mean, I ain't gonna cap. I mean, when he brings it up, I mean, whoever brought it up, Siakam or George, I'm definitely gonna get on the Paul train, but not to take anything away from Pascal.
Yeah.
He gives them what they need, but you never know what you can get out of PG in the same right. So leave that there. So Bronny now is only working out for 2 teams. Is this the Rich Paul effect?
yes.
So he's only worked out for the Suns and the Lakers. So obviously we know where he's going. But I mean, he gonna probably sign as +1. So with that being said, do you just wait to drive him to the second round, or you just take him in the first?
Definitely wait.
If you know it's only 2 destinations.
I'm waiting.
Yeah, if I know it's 2 destinations, I'm waiting.
And does that also mean that Brian willing to go to Phoenix?
I don't know.
Did you have a blockbuster trade, LeBron James and Kevin Durant?
I mean, he a free agent. Is he a free agent?
Yes.
He's got a 1+1. He needs something. He got
Yeah,
hold on.
Bron ain't signing nothing long term no more.
Hey,
Maybe Brown want to go play with KD.
He like options.
Hey, I would like that.
That'd be crazy.
No.
Bron in Phoenix?
That'd be great. Bradley Bill, D Book, and KD.
Bruh.
Do they have the payroll?
All of that.
I got the payroll for that.
What is this?
Sound like a Lakers.
What is that? That is
Bron,
disgusting.
KD? No, it look like a
Crazy.
Ain't enough
the
balls.
USA team?
Pause. Ain't enough balls in the world for that team, bro. Big pause. No Diddy.
Hell no.
That's crazy.
That was wild, yeah.
You never know, man.
But I mean, I don't
You know how much niggas already was.
LeBron had to sign a vet minimum to go over there. He's not doing that.
Brad getting 50.
He's definitely not.
D-Book getting damn near 50.
And KD
getting 50.
Yeah.
And I know they regret that Brad trade. They probably won't say it out loud, but
Because ain't nobody about to take that off their hands.
Oh,
It's
no.
the whole Russell Westbrook shit all over again.
man,
Yep.
you know.
Well, shit, that's what they thought with Chris Paul. That's why they got rid of him. They thought they got a little upgrade.
And the thing about that, when you trade for players, and just speaking about Brad Beal real quick, when you trade for players that have that got to be what Brad with third extension,
Second.
because that's a super max. So that's come up with
Yeah,
second. So this
exactly.
is his third, right? You already know what you're getting. So you got to know that you know that you
No,
know.
this is second.
So
This is
is he
his
a
rookie
rookie?
deal.
Yeah, this is second.
He got his first one, and then this is his second. He playing on his
so
second
extension, third contract.
Yes.
That's what I mean. So it's his
Yeah.
third contract.
Yeah.
So you know what you're getting.
You just thought you knew what you
So,
was
but
getting.
my thing is, are you for sure that he gonna be the person that's gonna get you over the hump before you trade and pay him $50 million?
So my thing is, why don't
Great player, don't get me wrong.
But why don't people think like when they putting these teams together, like it's gonna be like 2K where every one of them is gonna be averaging 30 points? That's
in
not gonna
basketball.
happen.
Because somebody
It's
gonna have
never
to defer.
happened. It
I mean,
won't ever happen.
If you want to ask anybody
Three
about,
niggas averaging 30 is just OD crazy.
it
like,
is. If you want to ask anybody in this era, any two people about deferment, and I'm not talking about loans, I'm talking about your game. Ask Chris Bosh, and Kevin Love. Ask them, is it worth it?
I think
Because Kevin Love could be a Hall of Famer, possibly. He and Chris Bosh both could be Hall of Famer. Well, Chris Bosh is a Hall of Famer. But Kevin Love would probably be no question. He might have questions now, but it'll be no question he'll probably be a Hall of Famer had he stayed in Minnesota.
I think he did defer, but he doesn't. His role, his whole entire career, he never really affected the game greatly in any other aspect. Chris Bosh was already a good defender. He was a great rebounder. Kevin Love was already a great rebounder and a great catch and shoot player, or he became a catch and shoot player.
I think it was better in Minnesota.
Bradley Beal, he looked really uncomfortable. He didn't know what to do with himself. Like
Right.
he was used to. I'm dropping 30. I'm dropping 50 in two games back to back. We gonna lose, but that's what we gonna do. Now I gotta learn how to catch and shoot or play make and create plays for these other guys. It's not. And then the offense was just stagnant. It was just bad. So it was just a bad
because
situation.
all it was, all right, you go.
You go, and then
My
I'm
turn,
trying to
my
drive.
turn.
Oh, they're helping. All right, you go now.
My turn, your turn. My turn, your turn.
But you have to cut them some slack because Phoenix looked at Chris Paul. How Houston looked at Chris Paul, where he's getting paid $40+ million, but he can't stay healthy, and so they thought at least if we're gonna pay someone $40-50 million, it's gonna be better production than Chris Paul. I think that's the mindset
And
going
then
into
he
that.
came here and got hurt.
And it looked like that on paper, but
He stayed hurt in DC,
it looked like that on paper.
especially around playoff time.
Brad wasn't that bad.
He wasn't at all.
Just, I mean, I'm not saying he's
No, I'm not talking about his play. I'm talking about
health.
his injury. His injury history wasn't that bad.
At all. And plus, when you on a bad team, when you get injured, sometimes you're gonna take longer than usual to come back, bro.
Oh yeah, because he already out the playoff picture. Yeah,
But the
come
risk
back,
your
Yeah,
future
I'm not
health
about
to
to risk my ankle a little sore. I ain't gonna risk coming
I'm
back.
cut Phoenix
And
some
we
slack.
20 and 52.
Right.
It's not the greatest idea, but like to get 3 ball dominant scores like that, isolation scores like that. It didn't fit, but I'm not gonna kill them for the move because Chris Paul looked bad. He can't stay healthy. I mean, he had them the year before. They got bounced. They got blown the fuck out in was it that elimination game that they lost? When they lost by like 40?
Game 7?
I'm pretty sure.
No. You talking about
when Dallas
Chris
beat
Paul was still there.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
They saw that in
year,
Chris
yeah,
Paul.
yeah, yeah.
And
So
then,
when Dallas
When
beat
Dallas
them,
beat him,
yeah, they saw that in Chris Paul. Just the same way Houston saw Chris Paul. They tried to ship him off. They shipped him off to Washington. They tried to ship him off to OKC. And that just looked better. Bradley Beal looked better than what Chris Paul was going to give him. And it just didn't work out.
it sure didn't.
But my thing, just as much as it didn't work out for Phoenix, it definitely didn't work out for Brad Beal either. So to your point about you being like the third wheel on the big three, do you think he's thinking like, damn, I should have went somewhere else? Like,
I think he probably.
because that's a tough position to be in when you used to being
The
the
guy,
guy,
yeah,
like
yeah.
you said.
And that's why a lot of these teams get away from the 3 superstar model because the production versus the payout for that third player
Shit, look at everybody was hooping and hollering about that other LA team, and we all came here and said we all know what y'all do in the regular season. Y'all were brought here to do something in the postseason, and yet again, all the four of y'all either were hurt like usual or flaked the fuck out.
But when you look at the teams that are winning, they got 2 stars, and then they fill it up with guys who are stars in other ways,
And they roll. They stars and they roll.
So
Sure.
that's not the blueprint anymore.
Gotta get with the times.
All right, so we'll leave that there. You guys got any topics for the fast break?
Oh man, just shout out Juneteenth, man.
Yes, I see. I didn't get the message on the shirts. I
Sorry.
like them
Put
though.
the black shirt on, good.
Yeah, I was on code with the black shirt for sure.
Shout out to being Juneteenth, man. Wish y'all off work today, but it's alright.
Marathon continues, baby. Shout out to Nip. Cool.
For sure. No, it was interesting. We still had practice today, but after we got done, we just watched film and lifted. And then after that, we had like a group discussion. You know what I mean? So that was dope.
That's what's up. Always get that dialogue.
Yeah, no, that was fire. Had that dialogue with the kids about Juneteenth and what it mean and all that. So that was fire. Shout out to Juneteenth, man.
TV news. Shout out to HBO and giving the best division in football Hard Knocks this year. Shout out to y'all.
So let's talk about that.
They been listening.
So,
That's about to be crazy.
well, definitely shout out to Juneteenth.
That's genius. That's genius.
That's about to be crazy.
I don't mean to sound, like a bastard or nothing like that, though. But sometimes I don't get involved with a lot of the political correctness. But a lot of people see value in today, and so I'm not gonna steal their shine. It's memorable. It should have been acknowledged
Years ago.
long time ago. In fact, I'm tired of the separatism. All of this stuff is American history, and it should be acknowledged as such. And so, you fuckers that control everything, y'all need to get y'all shit together. Having said that, you alluded to the Hard Knocks, taking a tour around the AFC North. I used to say Central. Got that right.
There you go.
Black and blue division.
So everybody will get a turn here. Obviously, you know what I'm saying. Who do you think pulls for this? Do you think it's the organization that wants this because of the exposure and the moolah, or do you think the coaches want it? Because the coaches got a job to do. I can't see
I
them
know for sure the coaches don't.
don't want anything to do with this.
The coaches don't want it.
No, it's the organization.
Yeah.
It's coming from the top.
Now it ain't like it used to be. Like back in the day, when it was an hour-long show on Sunday night, whenever it came on right after Real Sports with Brian Gumbo, it was really hard knocks. You saw suckers getting cut. All kinds of things.
Well, that's the world we live in today. You can't show things
Can't
like
hurt
that.
someone, embarrass someone.
Yeah.
It's part of the game.
Can't hurt feelings.
All you gotta do is go on Google
Camera.
and type in hub, and you in there. Like, make it make sense.
Right.
Fair point, huh?
Sport being cut is a part of the game. Yes.
Yes.
And so if you're trying to entertain, like, okay, somebody's being fired.
Yeah.
Now you want to expose it, then expose the whole thing. I'm not about to subscribe for $16 if I can't see the whole kit and caboodle.
Well, our version isn't going to be the summer part.
Yeah, it's gonna be in season.
Ours is going to be in season.
Okay, good. So
So you won't see niggas getting cut. Well, you might, but not like.
somebody gonna get let go right there. You got the trade deadline, you got all kinds of shit.
But not like the mass
Get hurt,
exodus.
then you got to cut him, make roster spot for another.
Yeah.
But it's a tough job for everybody.
Yeah.
If somebody, but I'm quite sure one door closes, then another one opens up. So it's not like it's
look
at
at
the end.
That's
look
the
at like
business.
a classic moment like when
That's the business.
Vontae Davis got traded. He became a Pro Bowler. Ever since then. Not anymore, but he became one.
So, all right, so we're gonna go around. And obviously, I think this is not coincidence because this is probably the most elite division in all professional sports in every one of the major four in terms of the competitiveness and the likelihood of each team making the playoffs,
Yes.
right? And so,
Damn near happened last year.
and so, well, obviously last year, 13 games was the bar, or was it 12? 13 games was the bar. The Ravens win.
I think the Steelers got in with 10.
So the bar is high.
Cause y'all went what 8, 9, 9 and 8.
Y'all was living until last day, right?
Right fucking there.
Last week or two, y'all was living.
I mean, second week of the season. Second to last week of the season.
So it's a real competitive division. Everybody got a quarterback that they gonna rely on this season. Each team has a passing attack. Pittsburgh doesn't have no quarterback last year, so it was glimpses of it, of course, right?
It's some great storylines.
Yeah, all that.
Stars, you know what I mean?
So it's gonna be a lot to talk about.
And it comes on in December. December football is the best time of year, man.
Right towards the end of the season.
And
Now, is it gonna be recorded previous, like October, September, or is it gonna be happening like right in the crunch time? I didn't read the report.
I gotta go do some more research. I think it might be pre-recorded from the weeks before.
I know it starts on December 3rd. Cause we play the Steelers December 1st. It's crazy. The Steelers got hella fucking division games first of the season.
They got a tough schedule.
They shit great.
But everybody playing the same teams. I guess theirs is all back to back to back to back.
Yeah.
The only discrepancy would be like they play in the last place. Well, no, they play third place teams from the other two divisions because we all got to play one division.
Which is the NFC.
The AFC West, we all got to play in the NFC West.
Right.
NFC East.
Yeah.
We all got to play.
And there's a couple, randoms in there.
Those would be those
Broncos,
third
Chargers,
place, fourth place, wherever you landed in the division. That's who you would play on the other side.
Gotcha. So this is gonna be interesting. I might actually watch this.
Tune in, man.
Come on, Mike. Tap in.
You guys know I don't watch a lot of TV.
This would be perfect for us though. This
When it's
It's
something
all encompasses everything we talk about during football
They
season.
did us a favor.
That's gonna be. I can't wait for that. That's gonna be wrong.
That was lit. That was wrong when I seen that and all. I'm like, oh yeah, it's all.
It's coincide.
It's our turn, Jussie. Justo had
They
had their hard nights last year.
Sexy red. And y'all might pick y'all quarterback for the whole season. I don't know. That might have been bad luck.
My quarterback kicking it with Vic Wembanyama.
What's your quarterback doing?
Him and Chase are friends, man. They kicking it.
Oh, damn.
Oh, so y'all out there
living
with
good.
y'all out there with L Jack there.
Yeah.
They having croissants.
I just see my man
Baguettes.
Joey playing chess. I see my man
As long as
Chase
it's
out
not
there
crazy. As
shopping.
long as it's not crazy.
Baguettes.
They out there chilling,
They eat.
man. Having a
Well,
good
the
time.
savory crepes are cool. Them sweet ones I don't like.
Strawberry crepe is fire.
Yeah.
Ice in them.
Even the
I
blueberry.
don't like all that powdered sugar, whipped cream. Give me diabetes. Give me mushrooms and the spinach joint.
I
That's
fuck
fire
with
too,
it
though. Yeah.
I like
But I used to eat that way.
No mushroom.
But
Everything else.
Come on, man. Gotta get with the shrooms.
yeah, the shrooms is a lifesaver.
Not A-Rod.
Not them strong.
No, actually,
Them
like,
cool too.
But I'm good. You know what I mean?
Cool too, but
You just gotta know what you're
you
dealing
can't
with.
overindulge, you know.
You gotta make sure
So
you
we're
get it
the
from the
dark
right
age.
source.
I can't miss work for that. I can't miss work for that.
No.
Take a little trip.
You gotta make sure you got time off. You get it from the right person, and you do it around the right people. You know what I mean? Be responsible. Be responsible. You know what I mean? When you going on trips.
You're gonna do it right.
Yeah.
So moving to thoughts on. Obviously, I feel like every week we got to come here. We got to talk about Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark. So
I love it, man. They in the ethers. They in the algorithm.
Angel Reese then was given a flagrant foul for another hard foul on
The princess that
the
was
WNBA savior.
Oh, that's all. Yep. That's
what are your thoughts on the flagrant foul that she
Bullshit.
was handed down?
Bullshit.
Bullshit.
They both even said this. It was a basketball play. She wasn't intentionally going for her head.
And two people going hard, man.
Going hard, man.
Yeah,
They get that flagrant foul in the NBA, though.
What did she say? I went for the ball like I always do. Like, don't try to paint no narrative.
We know physicality is a part of any sport, and yeah, you want to dislodge the ball from the opponent. I mean, sometimes you might
Head in the way.
Yeah.
Shit. It happens.
and it gets called. But my whole thing is, never ever before in the world of flagrant fouls has it been news.
That's my issue with it, because they call this an NBA, it's controversial, whatever people believe it, they know. But the fact that it's such a big topic, it makes no sense to me. Because of who it was, and now it might be intentional. Like she might. Nah, I hate that. These are
terrible narrative. 30-minute blocks on talking head shows about a flagrant foul.
They're not even talking about the game.
They're not even talking about the game.
That's what, like, get the fuck out of here.
They ain't even talking about practice. They talking about a flagrant foul.
Talking about a flagrant foul for a whole segment is crazy.
They starting to make me not like Kane Clark, bro. It's just getting annoying. It's getting annoying at this point.
But that's what I've always been saying. It's not her. It's what y'all hyping her up to be.
Exactly.
Like, she was just supposed to come in here and be averaging 35, 10, and 12. Like, y'all did this to her.
Yep.
Again, this whole rookie class is full of stars.
Full of stars.
Let that be the narrative. Let that run the narrative.
Because if the focus is on the game, and the game's been better.
Shout out to Cameron Brink. She just tore her ACL. She ended up with this.
Yeah, she is. I saw
Well,
that. Sparks. The games, the attendance is going up, right? Obviously, the women have always been very, very skilled. It's a good game.
Sit down and watch.
I would like that to be the focus. I'm not, because if the narrative, it's about this girl, this woman, excuse me, and she lighting it up. I'm not gonna watch. But if I hear all these games are super competitive, man, and
Which they are.
The margin of victory is 2.9. Like, oh fuck, I need to sit down and watch some of this basketball.
It's been some good games.
They've been playing hard.
It's been some good games.
The media did this shit to Kayla Clark. Y'all hype, she greatest woman hooper ever.
Let her run her
Bring
strike.
them against each other like that.
But I think what I can say about her,
I love a
she's
good
humble.
rivalry.
She's
but-
humble about it. She's like, oh no, I gotta earn, like the U.S. basketball thing. Oh, I gotta earn it. I haven't paid my dues. Just paraphrasing what she's saying. I mean, so she's going to say the right things, and I really think she feels that way. Like really, but at the same time, she know that it's money on the table, and then when it's checks to cash, what should you do?
Listen, she can sign all the endorsement deals. She earned that rate.
I'm
She's
not
not
hating
up
on
there
I'm not
yet.
hating on the girl. I'm hating on the way the girl getting covered.
Yeah, for real.
They shouldn't even want that.
And you got Aja Wilson out here dogging shit, like putting up historic numbers, and y'all want to have a whole 30-minute block about a foul.
Yeah, that's
Come on, man.
That's not a good use of time.
But that's the thing that it's my homegirl, Monica McNutt was saying to
Yep.
Stephen A.
Yep.
Like,
She ain't
man,
been on first take
we're
since.
not talking about the
Corny ass
WNBA game, and that's what she was trying to portray to him and Shannon. We are literally on here arguing for 45 minutes to an hour about how she got hip checked.
Exactly.
We're not talking about the actual game that she played in. We're talking about a hip check. And that's all she was trying to portray. We're not on here talking about the basketball game like we would do with the Celtics and the Mavs. We're talking about a hip check. Oh, I can see if this was a segment and then we go into the game the next one. No, we're talking about this hip check and then we're moving on to something else.
Exactly.
Let me ask y'all this though. Do y'all think that Stephen A. and Shannon Sharp is being put up to drive this
Yes.
narrative?
They all are.
They're the head honchos.
They all are.
I'm just saying
You don't get $12 million a year to talk about sports with if you ain't gonna follow my
That's
script.
only on first take though, because when they get to night,
Thank you, Dom. I was just about to say that because when he had her on Nightcap, the whole narrative of what he was talking about on first take, he wasn't repeating none of that shit. His whole aura changed on Nightcap.
So what would you rather do if you him?
I mean,
I know he
He
get no
gonna turn
tags.
I'm gonna get both.
He gonna
I'm
get
a double dip on the conversation plan. I'm a double dip.
But doesn't that cause a little bit of
You gotta stand on
what
it.
you
though.
call it?
You gotta stand on something.
Right.
Contradiction if in the AM you saying one thing and the PM you saying another.
But I think we kind of understand who's running the AM. So I don't think it's like.
That's my thing.
Doesn't
Why
make-
do it?
They made him an offer he couldn't refuse. So I don't see why not.
So I'm gonna be less authentic in the AM, and I'm gonna be my authentic self at night.
That's why he started the PM, so he could be his authentic self.
That's just like what Stephen A. do with the Stephen A. Smith show. And what he used to do with the Stephen A. Smith radio show. Come first take, he's doing whatever, give his takes. Then come radio show, he's more detailed. He's talking about something totally different. That's just how it's always been.
And that's how most people are though. Like when you at work, you one way, and then you out kicking with the fellas, it's a different conversation. So
When they step on that show,
You don't talk to your teaching staff the way you talk here.
No, he might.
No, he don't.
He might.
Ain't not in front of them administrators. He don't.
No, hell no, not the principals.
You
EB.
don't know me very well.
EB, I know you get some of your shit off, but you don't get all your shit
With
off.
all due respect.
You don't get all of your shit
With
off.
all due respect.
And you might say it a way that they can understand and digest it. You don't say it the way you really want to say it.
With all due respect, I'm not a tongue biter. And so, yet, I don't put myself in a position to have to do that. But when I find it necessary, I'm very boisterous. So, in that from A to B, and I'm just being serious. I don't play that. Listen, let's move on. I'm in trouble. So, thoughts on Xavier Bickerstaff going on an NBA radio show. And most people thought that he was taking shots at J.A. When he was talking about, this is his quote, talking about Luka Doncic. This was a guy who was taking shots to his ribs so that he could go out and play. He was playing through pain. He wasn't complaining. So people around the Cleveland landscape thought that he was taking shots at Jared Allen because of a similar situation, not having played in 6 playoff games, maybe 7 playoff games, 5 and 2. He missed the last 3 against the Magic.
8.
So he missed the last 8 playoff games, which is about roughly 2 weeks worth of basketball, maybe 2.5 weeks worth of basketball. And Doncic would go out there and suit it up and then complain about being injured. Well, he might complain about being injured somewhat, but he played nonetheless.
Yeah.
And then when you have a conflict, not a conflict report, a similar, I guess it will be conflicting because this is not a shot according to the Post. Certain players, no names please, Marcus Morris, who went out and said he thought that if he were in that situation, he would have played. So is this a tenacity issue with Jared Allen? But before we get that, thoughts on JB making that comment and was he taking shots at the player?
No. Fractured rib is definitely different. And his position's different. His whole, he's gonna be in the trenches getting hit. Like, we seen what Luka was doing. He was lollygagging.
Before you continue, according to Marcus Morris, y'all can see you not playing against the Magic, because it's a physical team. But the Celtics, they don't play physical. That's what his teammates said.
Okay, and then little 6'3" Drew Holiday gives you an elbow on that fractured rib, and now you're out again. That's not.
Just take the shot.
Put some blood bar on.
Gut
That's
it out.
not a-
Yeah, gut it
A
out.
fractured rib is different than what Luka was going through. And we complained about how he was doing everything else besides when he had the ball in his hand. He was doing absolutely nothing else. So it's like, how
So
you can't compare that to.
You telling me a fractured rib is worse than a chest contusion? Don't tell Jim that.
I was about to say that.
But hold on. Let me get this up though.
No chest
A
contusion.
chest contusion sounds real good. Nigga, it's a bruise, nigga. It's a
probably
fucking
hard to
bruise.
breathe. A little bit.
It's a bruise, my nigga. Put some icy hot on it and let's hoop.
Man up. Icy hot.
It's all you can pick up a microwave.
You can't
man.
compare that though.
But
So I'm
No,
not
you
looking
can't.
at
You
that.
can't.
I understand. So moving away from what the coach said. So thoughts on Jared Allen in this term, right? So 2 years in a row. 1 year, the first year, the stage was too big. Lights too bright.
Right.
Second year,
Ribs too tender.
Ribs too tender.
you got injured. It wasn't an ankle or a knee or a foot. I mean, albeit you could have played through. You could have gave the team 20 minutes.
Put a flak jacket on.
Do something, right? And you do nothing. You don't play.
I'm just talking.
Because I said that. I said 20 minutes, 15 something, because your team obviously needed it. So if you give me something and then it looks terrible, like Porzingis tried to play and he looked terrible out there, so they took him out. But he tried. So
he didn't even give it a go.
I understand that. But
Well, I agree with you, but Porzingis did enough to scare the fuck out of the Mavs in that game 1. Because when he came in, it was over with. And that was a tone for the rest of the series other than game 4.
Look, he played well game 2. He didn't play as well offensively, but defensively, game 2 he was
His
very.
presence was felt.
I heard Mike Breen say, blocked by Porzingis!
like 3 times, 40
Yeah. Game 2 he was.
It's supposed to be blocked by
He was
James.
pivotal in the first. He was very pivotal in the first 2 games. But to your point, that's why when he came back in, he did enough. He had enough insurance.
They
in the
didn't
first
game
2
plan for
games.
that.
Yeah.
You can't game plan for 7-4.
He throws Jared Allen some bail. Didn't he say that he didn't really want to take any drugs just so he can be able to have a
He could
pain
have took a
tolerance?
holistic approach. You know, out there ate some mangoes or something.
Yeah, what?
Soft and juicy.
Nah.
So I mean, that's just like
Sorry, dog.
that's cool. That's like Kobe with the COVID situation. He didn't want to inject himself with nothing.
I got
so
you.
he
That's
can
a little
play.
different though.
It's different, but it's similar.
It's other thing. If it was fractured to the point where, to Justo's point, where you couldn't breathe, I understand you not playing. But if you could run around and put something on it to soften the blows, I think you could have gave it a shot.
You were
Now,
professional,
now,
competitive.
just quick
sports.
disclaimer for the pod audience. This part I'm about to say is not for entertainment purposes. I am not throwing shade at Jared Allen. I'm not questioning his toughness. This is what his teammates said. Okay,
And it's
and it got leaked. So I would probably say it was probably more than one teammate that had this comment, but only one was man up. Well, not man up. But only one went on and said it out loud. So I'm not questioning his integrity at all. But when you in the thick of it, like how many you can't take for granted making it to the Eastern Conference semifinals. You can't take that for granted because you don't know if you'll return.
Oh, facts.
So if I can walk, I'm playing. If I can't walk, I can't play. But again, I ain't never had a bruised rib or a situation like that, so I can't say it wholeheartedly. But I would at least give it a go.
You never had no chest contusion.
I ain't never had no chest contusion. I had a bad back.
The one that were tough for you to pick up. Like,
Ruptured Achilles. I couldn't walk. I ruptured my Achilles. I couldn't walk. So I couldn't play.
But we're all.
I'm not even a 5-star athlete.
Sometimes when you get to that level, it doesn't. Basketball isn't that important. Where you risking your body and your health.
Because let's be
Let me
honest.
get half of your $100 million then, if it ain't that
Boy,
important.
it's been cats
I'll take
that
a
play
quarter.
for free in high school and college.
That
That you
do
know what
it.
I mean. But the hunger is different, I guess. Maybe you're comfortable. Got all that money. You got that big contract. I
I hear you, EB. You're not questioning it, but 2 years in a row, that's not looking good for you.
That right.
It's
I
not
would
looking
have
good
loved.
for you in the
I would have
NBA.
loved for him to just step foot on the court. And we just see what happens because they needed. Y'all needed it. So it's like 10 minutes. Y'all playing Tristan Thompson. Like you gonna get those Tristan Thompson minutes and then see what happens. And then if it's really that bad, if you're really struggling out there, then we saw you tried and that's it.
the fact that he didn't, like what Justin said, the fact that he didn't try to give it a go, that's what frustrates the competitiveness in all of us.
Yeah.
And his teammates as well. It's like, come on, bro, we've been here since training camp, whole off season, and this is the time when shit really matters, and you don't even want to at least try to come out there. At least try.
I get
Like,
that.
Because I feel like that locker room believed they had a chance against Boston.
They did.
Yeah, they did.
Listen,
Call me crazy for that.
did anybody else? Well, did Miami? The Cavs are the only team that won a game up there. Well, I think
No,
Miami
Miami
No,
won
Miami took game.
Miami
Oh yeah,
took-
yeah.
Okay, so
the Cavs won.
and we know, and obviously when the Spider-Man, like I don't know what the difference is. Well, they couldn't guard Donovan in the way they stopped Kyrie and Luka.
No.
So I don't know if it's a different level here.
I mean, it was times where he looked like the best player on the court.
Question, no,
All right,
I'm not arguing that.
No, he was getting whatever the fuck he wanted against them.
Anything.
popping his shit.
And he plays very well against Boston. So I know he believes he can beat them.
Yeah, absolutely.
No, for So
He just needs somebody else to run
You've
with.
been giving them trouble for 2 years.
2 years. They don't have a matchup for him. Sorry.
But yeah, like I said, man, if we had, no, if it was a fifth, but I believe if we had all our horses, shit would have went out there.
all right, so let me ask y'all this, right? Thoughts on this? How close are the Cavs to Boston, and what do we need to do to get us to that point where we can dethrone the Boston Celtics next year?
Our bench got to be better.
A lot better. And coaching. Our bench and coaching.
They had Sam Hauser coming off the bench looking like.
What's your boy?
That's
Pritchard?
coaching. That's coaching to like that's my ideal style of coaching is, bro, you out here, you're a shooter. Every time you touch the ball, they give you an inch of space, you shoot. I don't care if you missed the last 4. And then if you miss 4, go fucking rebound, do something.
Yeah.
And every single one of them did that. So if you don't have guys like that on your team, you're gonna lose those games. No matter how they're shooting, 'cause they're gonna get boards, they're gonna get shots, they're gonna get steals, they're gonna get offensive rebounds from all 5 guys on the court. That's different. And they all have confidence to let that shit fly.
Like whoever
matter
comes
what.
in and coaches this team, just though, really, it's gonna be their personal philosophy.
Exactly.
This and we just talked about it with JA, and I think DG struggled with this mentality as well. I mean, we all do. You know, we go through the emotional roller coaster and things like that in our careers and life. And so, you know,
I ain't never had nobody have to like speak life into me like that though. That was
you know
like a child. Like
we can't have
you
this,
got to get together.
this fragileness. That's gotta be put out the window. Because I think they can play together. It's just a matter of like, okay, I'm gonna accept this role and you know, like Kevin Stefanski, do your job. And be a star. Now leave the ego to the side,
Bro,
right?
Drew Holiday got $30+ million a year doing that shit. Trying
He's
his
a
ass
selfless
off.
player.
Trying his ass off, and I see him in the offseason workouts, and I've seen him at times, and we sat here and argued about Drew Holiday or John Wall. I've seen him be able to go get a bucket.
No, he can. Really
So he obviously had that in his bag, but he said,
really
"This is where I thrive. This is what the team needs, and obviously we're very successful when I'm acting like this. So this is what I'm gonna do. This is what I'm gonna master." And he did it, and he still got paid for it. Derek White about to go get $30 million. So it's like
and he
the
got
money,
2 rings.
exactly.
And he got 2 rings now.
The money, the recognition. You're getting all of that by starring in your role. That shit happens all the time. So for you to want to have a specific spot, it doesn't make any sense to me.
Nah, but
If that's the problem.
being a young player, coming off getting a max contract, I believe that Drew Holiday, it took him a while before he realized, okay, this is what I need to do in order for us to win. I don't believe a lot of young players come into the league and want to be a star in their role. A lot of them want to take the bull by the horn and want to be the man they sell. So it's a lot of ego tripping that needs to be checked at the door in order for them to win. But it's like I want to hold that against them, but it's like being a young player, having to go through the grind, the ups and the downs of being in the league. Sometimes it take you a while to get them lumps on your head to realize like, okay, I need to take a step back and be a star on my road rather than trying to be the star.
That's fair. The blueprint's out there.
Yeah, it is.
And hold on, one thing before you go, John. And it's like you got to be realistic, right? You can look over and be like, all right, this nigga better than me. Like I don't think even when Donovan just got here, I don't think. I mean, obviously we thought that DG was gonna progress more. When it would have been closer, you know what I mean? Like a Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, but but it's not even close, bro. Like you gotta play your role. Like you not him. You the sidekick.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
No, not at all. Go ahead, John.
So to your point, he just got the max before Donovan got here, right?
Yep.
And to your point, he never had to take a role like a Drew Holiday. Right. You were still seen as, it was still seen as, okay, 1A, 1B-ish. DG was never seen as, go sit in the corner. Like, bro, no, we're looking to run offense through you also. Like, so you, I don't know what his ego was saying, like, bro, we need you to go get 32 some nights. Like,
Yeah.
if his shit ain't clicking, bro, you still have the, and we all been in here, coming in here and saying, we've seen you go get 50. Like, you still have the capabilities. We're not asking you to give us 10, 9, and 5. Like, bro, no, we still need you to be upper 20 echelon bucket getter. Like, we didn't ask you to be John Stockton. So that's where my whole thing was with him. Like, I don't know what people are telling him or what the organization or the coaching staff is letting him. Bro, you are the next guy. Like,
Oh, for sure.
if his shit ain't clicking, bro, we looking for you to carry us through.
And I feel like Donovan Mitchell was vocal about that. JB
I think
was
he
vocal
was.
about that.
He just didn't, you know.
Like, bro, go. Like, you coming into the game being tentative your damn self, and people looking for you to, hey, click in, my dude. Like, Max Strus shouldn't be having to do what he did. Like, that shit was OD. Like, Max Strus bringing the ball up, that shit was blowing my mind.
Yeah. Oh wow.
Like, that's why I was confused. I'm like, bro, why don't DG get, like, nigga, this, you still can do this. Like, nobody's telling you not to. Like, what are you doing?
And you still gonna be able to eat. Like, you can't look at Donnie as like he gonna take food off your plate. Like, he trying to help you eat too, bro.
And that's what we were saying. Like, Donnie not no selfish ass dude. Like, and you can see that, like he brought up, like, Game 7. Like, nigga, hey, bro, I need you. Like, I need you. We the team need you to pick your shit up, bro. We have a shot. We got a shot to do something.
We right here.
Yeah, I think.
Bring your shit, bro.
And my thing is, as a PG, where's the threat at? This is an elite scorer. This is a person that brings a lot of gravity. So
He helping you,
so
taking the shit
if I'm dribbling and I'm passing it to Donovan Mitchell, he got the ability to knock shit down. If I'm playing off the ball, he takes a lot of gravity, so I should have more open looks to knock down threes. Like, what's the conflict? That's what I don't understand.
Exactly.
That was our whole.
That's
That
what
was
I'm talking
our
about
whole
all
beef the
season
whole year with
the situation.
Like, this
So,
a dream nigga to play with, especially if I'm on an upward trajectory and I'm getting ready to hit that next step. Just got my max contract. It's the perfect guy that I want on my team to play with.
sign me up for that.
No, big facts.
So, just get rid of the fragile mindset.
Unless you just want to dribble the air out the ball and shit.
Turn that bitch over, man. That's what he wanted to do. I don't know.
But even I
Hey,
think
he can go
but
to
if he does shit like
Charlotte
that,
and be LaMelo Ball.
right. But if he does shit like that, I think he just gets checked out so easily too. Like, if shit's not falling, if he's not looking great out there, that shit just fucks with him. And it's like
I hate that mindset.
Max Strus,
man.
he's not that guy, but he gonna shoot every
He play
single time
hard,
he feel
yeah.
like it.
He play hard.
And,
He gonna make. He
he
gets
gonna
5
get his
turnovers. He's still gonna
attempts.
try to make that pass. Like that's just that. But that's where he comes from. A winning culture like Miami Heat. They don't give a shit. Jimmy Butler don't give a shit. I'll be 0 for 10, but in this fourth quarter, I'm taking all these shots because that's who I am. That's what you pay me to do. That's what I signed it to do.
die on that shit.
And if I'm 0 for 10, I'm affecting the game elsewhere, and I'm still taking shots. I'm still confident in how we can win this game. And that's a mental issue. That's coaching. That's whatever. I gotta have that type of mindset. And the blueprint's out there.
And I've heard it from multiple NBA guys. They rather you go 3 for 22 than 3 for 8. Because 3 for 8 means you just checked out and you was done.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm gonna shoot the pill. All right, let's leave that there. So what are your thoughts on both Jim Tressel, and Urban Meyer saying that this is the best Ohio State team ever?
It's not just
I gotta see it on Saturdays.
I mean, they as far as on paper,
Yeah.
like it's some of the
They
most
loaded.
craziest simple talents you've seen
Yeah,
in
they
a while
loaded.
in Columbus. Like, and if you go look at that, you go look at them.
I don't know, that 2020 team was.
You look at, but I'm saying you go look at them bank statements. They paid for this roster, so it better look like this.
Yes.
Like I was saying, like okay, so the team that was supposed to get it done that didn't, we didn't know what was gonna happen in 14 when we won the Natty, but in 15 we all thought, oh yeah, it's gonna be a repeat because that team was a juggernaut.
That team, the Justin Fields had some teams too that had clean shots at it.
Oh my God, that Clemson game still haunts me too.
Yeah, they all do.
He said they-
That Georgia game haunts me, you know. But
Man,
listen,
bruh.
so this
At the ball dropping though.
It's nasty work, bro.
this collection of talent here is something I guess no one's ever seen before. So obviously we gotta definitely see it on the field on Saturday.
Actually, on Saturday.
But,
That's where I'm at
you know,
with it.
And I gotta know what that I know what that backfield gonna do. I know what the fuck that backfield gonna do, but I need to know what this
quarterback.
this quarterback gonna do.
No question about that. So do you?
A little scar from
do you? What are your thoughts
Honda
on?
Accord.
What are your thoughts on maybe possibly Urban and Jim, pandering for Ryan?
Herb got to
With these
hype up his
comments.
guy.
Yeah,
Herb
'cause
gonna
that's
always hype his guy up.
That's a part of his coaching tree. And then Jim Trust
It make Herb Legend look greater.
Because Jim ain't been in the building since what? 10?
he just an Ohio guy through and through though, man.
Okay.
He's a Buckeye lifer.
I mean, I wouldn't mind him having him on the sideline, quite frankly.
I bet you would.
Might roll of salt, motherfucker.
Throw that sweater vest on
Yes.
one more time.
Yeah.
For the one time. Maybe just like that one weekend in November for the guys.
Yeah. That weekend especially.
Just that one weekend in November.
So things looking good in Columbus. So thoughts
It'll be an
on
exciting year, man.
the Celtics winning the championship in 08 and 24.
Who I'm taking?
No, they won the championship in 08 and 24.
Man.
What does that mean?
Oh shit!
What does that
I was a
mean?
little slow on that one.
So what do you think about the
I'm like,
Celtics
it
winning the
was like,
championship
Right.
in 2008 and 2024? That's Kobe. He worked out those numbers.
That's funny.
R.I.P.
That's a coincidence.
Is it a coincidence?
That's a coincidence.
It's gotta be.
It's a coincidence.
That's a hell of a coincidence.
It is.
That's a
Very
hell of a
much so.
script. That's a hell of a script. You
Ain't
get
it?
it?
I don't think David Stern could have brought a better script.
So would the Lakers win in 33?
They bound to.
Well,
Shit, at this rate, right? At this rate.
So
33 and 34.
Well, they got 20.
35 and 34.
They got
Shit, they got a three-peat.
They should have it in
32,
26.
33, and 34. They got a three-peat. No, shit.
We shall see, man. See y'all in a few more years.
Cavs still in 6 though.
So the Celtics should win in 44. So okay.
All right.
We got y'all figured out.
I say next championship 44.
Hey, put y'all parlays in, man. We got them figured out.
I don't care if we ever hear from them again.
Oh shit! But hold on. So are they gonna play each other in 33? Because you got Kareem and Larry.
Uh-oh.
It's
The
been
plot thickens.
it's been 14 years since the LA Boston Finals.
Yeah, 10.
It's funny.
14 years since the LA Boston Finals.
But no, that's a hell of a question. Everybody in here was confused when you was asking that. Like, what?
I was it.
No, I was thinking, I was thinking about how long it was
He
since
showed me
they won the
Kobe, I was like,
championship.
no.
That's what I was
Yeah,
thinking.
I'm like,
Once I seen Kobe, I knew where you was going with it. But I'm thinking like, yeah, that is kind of a long time.
I mean, but before 08, the last one before that was 86.
86.
Damn.
Well, if you
So-
talk to a Celtics fan, you would never know that.
So I mean, we
Never.
gonna get to this finals because I know we get ready to wrap up this first hour. But outside of that the ones that Bill and Bob won, it wasn't many championships.
They won what, twice in the 70s?
Yeah, 3 times in
3
the
times
80s.
in the 80s, none in the 90s, none until 08.
Classic, Red
So on
House,
the RIP to the family and friends of former MLB legend Willie Hayes. Willie Mays. I'm sorry, I'm thinking about the dang on Major League movie. Over the basket catch, throw the boy back to the infield.
He'd have been a hell of a receiver.
Until the Juicing era, he was the 3rd most home runs in MLB history. 12-time Gold Glover. Played in an era that he had no business playing in really because of how things were back in the 40s and 50s and whatnot. All-time great. Passed away at 93 years old. So a lot of legends is leaving the earth in 24 that played on the field and on the court and whatnot. So it's like every week we come in here, we got this kind of news. So just a shout out to the family and deepest condolences. As we turn the page on that and get to this year's finals. The Boston Frogs, Celtics, won the championship in 5 games. In my opinion, a very underwhelming opponent in the Dallas Mavericks. So that's 2 finals in a row that were very underwhelming.
Stop it right now. Nope, not letting y'all do it. Hell no. Nope, not letting it happen. Hell, stop, hit the power button.
I don't recall seeing a lot of competitive basketball.
Nope.
Did you? It was?
Nope. Who you pick to win?
I think Dallas.
Who you pick to win?
Dallas.
Who you pick to win?
Spite, Dallas. It
Who
was
you
all
pick to win?
spite.
Dallas.
Oh, okay. Continue.
It was all spite. Last year it was spite, goddammit.
Continue.
You know who I want to see. Now, with that being said, so it was underwhelming in my opinion. Because the team that I wanted to win didn't win. So you want to be honest. There you go. This is my question. We ain't gonna talk dynasties, nothing like that, right? On the court, we saw what happened. I mean, it was a lot of matchup problems for the Dallas Mavericks defensively. They couldn't figure out how to stop them shooting threes. Gave them too much penetration, yada, yada, yada. Drew Holiday, did he miss? I don't recall him missing a shot.
Game 4.
Damn.
Everybody missed.
But he become automatic. But anyway, they got a good tandem. Yeah, exactly.
He's the new Sky Hood, right? He's the new Sky Hood.
Defense drill.
From Mike and Joe, exactly. That's perfect.
Defense was not on the menu for the Dallas Mavericks at all.
I can't say it for everybody.
Well, certainly not for their best player.
Not at all.
Well, according to Jim, everybody was doo-doo.
So I want to talk about a couple things.
Verbatim.
I want to talk about from this series. We didn't talk about the result. The result is what it is. They're the champions. This is what I want to talk about. The legend of Luka Doncic, and this a team that Brad Stevens have assembled. Where y'all want to start at?
Can I go?
Yeah,
Okay.
because I want to hear.
We'll be starting there, John.
I want to start with the apologists for Luka Doncic. Because he was being compared to all-time greats. And even his, not his predecessor, his competitor on the other side before this finals was getting killed. Both of them were getting killed because they hadn't done it yet. But both of them have made an appearance and have made long playoff runs for all of their career. And both of them were getting eviscerated before this final started. And just not only y'all, we're talking about this being the greatest backcourt ever assembled and blah da 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 and all.
No.
But that was like that
was the sentiment going into the finals.
Was running rampant for sure.
I didn't see that shit.
That Boston gonna have hell to pay and all this other shit.
I don't know if you Doncic as a backcourt player, small forward.
I don't see enough people killing him today. Yesterday. Would it be yesterday? Yeah, today's Wednesday. Yeah, so yes, I didn't see enough people killing him. I saw hella people throwing him hella bail and giving him hella apologies for what the fuck he put. Because if I know if that was other players, they would be getting eviscerated.
No names, LeBron James.
Right. That's fuck.
You didn't do enough. You didn't do this. And you was lame in this game, and you should have won this. And because EB's favorite person, Brian Windhorst, was getting killed because he did it after that Game 3 performance Luka put on, where he basically quit on his team and went and tried to get a charge in the fucking teeth of the game.
And you have 5 fouls. The fuck?
Brian Windhorst goes on SVP show and does exactly what he should have did and kill Luka. Yep. And the next day we talking about why Brian Windhorst need to lay off Luka. What the fuck?
That was some of the realest shit I ever heard Brian Windhorst
lay off.
What are we really? Hold on, ESPN, Epic. What the fuck are we really talking about?
Right.
A man did his job. Y'all crown this nigga the next one. And Last time I checked, I remember Europeans is supposed to be taking over basketball, so he's supposed to be king.
I don't see how.
That's somebody check Jason Tatum and Jalen Brown.
He's supposed to be king. He come out game 3. First of all, your last 4 fouls were all in the fourth quarter. And they were lazy, lackadaisical, terrible ass fouls. Like, just don't give a fuck type fouls.
So let's consider.
And Brian, I'm sorry,
Go ahead, man.
Brian Windhorst goes on TV and does his fucking job.
Spit fast.
And the next day, we talking about a motherfucker that was supposed to do what he did and not talk about this motherfucker laying a fucking egg.
Exactly.
So I want to just, in contrast, because you brought it up, so I'm going to say it. The person that you didn't name that went to the finals for the first time, he was being guarded by 5 people. And couldn't nobody else make a shot. It is what it is. This guy was not, he was being guarded very closely by 2 or 3 people. Not all at the same time though, just switching. And he couldn't find a way, he couldn't find his rhythm. They frustrated him. We have to reevaluate, and I said this last week, what's an all NBA player? Because you should be able to play both sides of the court. And now they all complain. Every superstar complains. He's egregious though. I think, when you sit on the floor, you commit a stupid foul, and you tell your coach you better fucking challenge it. I think it's absurd.
And who was making? I think you or B was making that point to Jimmy this morning.
Like you can't.
I think it was B because
You can't do that.
Hanging back.
Because part of if you're gonna put your chest in Jalen Brown to stop him, you gotta move your feet too, bro. Or it's a foul.
What y'all say? You gotta wiggle your toes.
You gotta do something.
You gotta wiggle your toes.
You gotta be vertical. You gotta do something. You know what I'm saying? And so he is a good player. He's gonna be an all-time great. There's no question about that. But he gotta definitely figure out what to do on the other end. Because this is the blueprint on how people gonna attack him moving forward.
But y'all, it's the same. Like it's not apples to apples, but it's the same shit with the Caitlin Clark thing. Like no one's taking away from the talent that Luka is, but now y'all want him to be face of the league, best in the world, and we hold him to that standard. Don't tell us to lay off and shit like that. No, this supposed to be the next dude.
I'm not.
And you telling me he the best in the world and he can only win 1 game in the finals? And don't tell me he don't have help. He has a fucking prime Kyrie Irving. And nobody was saying that the Mavs was a bad team, like John was saying. Niggas was picking the Mavs to win the finals. Nobody was saying it was a bad team when them niggas was walking through the fucking West.
They stampeded, right.
Like, what are we talking about?
And like in that point I made to Jimmy, they had to. I want to say I'm not, and our fact checker is here, and you can fact check me. After that trade, they had a top 3 record in the NBA.
Yeah, I seen you had said that.
They had one of the best records going into the playoffs in the NBA from trade deadline on. When they got the 2 doodoo niggas I was told earlier.
And P.J. Washington. Right.
Their defense got better and their team success went up.
Facts.
So now that they took the L to the better team, now everybody just asked except for him?
Right. Makes
Now,
no sense.
he put up numbers, but he didn't pass the eye test.
At all.
But I said that, I told y'all that coming in. I said Boston has way more bodies to throw at them 2 than they do for the other players.
Me and 50 Ball were just talking about this shit.
And I'm not gonna say
John said before
right.
the series even started, John already broke that whole shit down for niggas.
No, you did. And but my disdain for the Celtics wouldn't let me see that right then and there.
Yeah, I
gotta be a truth teller. I can't lay my bias all the time.
Right, I do. But the disdain was just too high.
I can't do it all the time. I can't do it all the time.
That's a skill, bro.
I can't do it all the time.
I was loving the Cavs in 6, so Mavs in 6 was just an easier transition. And Kyrie's my guy, so it's like, hey,
I gotta learn that skill.
No, but
whatever.
So,
They had the 4th best record since All-Star break, and that's only because of games played. They just played less games.
And nigga, P.J. Washington was lighting shit up in the playoffs. Now he doodle.
Now niggas talking about PJ about to sign a crazy ass contract now, and he just ass cheeks because he played a better team, bro. They just were better.
I'm gonna shoot the Celtics some bail. Defensively they were on top of it. And when you talk about who wanted it, they certainly wanted it.
That's my big thing with that whole shit.
They wanted it.
Why did they wait till down 3-0 to start? Because he obviously had an intent. Because if you watch Game 4, because the Celtics really didn't shoot lights out like the whole entire
Their
series.
best shooting performance was Game 5.
They just kept getting boards, they kept getting chances, and they kept getting stops. That's what you do. And if Luka obviously had that shit in the tank because he pulled it out Game 4 when they're down 3-0 when they had no choice. He played some defense and it looked completely different for the Mavs. And everybody had energy all of a sudden. Everybody was getting boards all of a sudden. People were hitting shots. Like that shit is a trickle effect. When your best
Derek
player,
Lively jumping from the free throw line, dunking on niggas. And
he hit a
shit like
three. He hit a corner three. His first career three.
Yeah, like come
Game
on,
4
man.
of the finals. But when they were trying to attack him ISO, that shit wasn't working. They were missing shots, and then they were like, all right, now we got to do something else. And they had to fucking think. And throughout all the other 4 games they lost, they didn't have to think. They just had to do, they were on automatic. They had to do whatever they were doing, and it was working.
Their depth is crazy. And I don't know if they even play Muscala.
And play Muscala, they barely played Pritchard. They only put him in for those last end and a half, end of quarter shots.
He go always hit some shit you don't want him to hit.
I don't. That Game 5 really just got on my nerves, man. I'm like, y'all had it. There's no way they out hustled y'all.
But
Live or
every
die
time it went off the rim, somebody from Boston was grabbing the offensive
Grabbing
rebound.
it.
Yeah,
6'4" to 7'3". Someone was grabbing that bitch.
I'll cut it off.
That shit, I could drop too. That shit was terrible.
I feel like game 4
I
was
just
just
heard the first quarter down was like, all right, I'll load up.
Yep. One pitcher hit that shot. I'm like, all right,
Yeah,
we can load up now, bro.
I saw them put Tim Hardaway.